You know what? If a thief or a serial killer breaks into my house, he should be the one in danger. My fellow humans, I bid you welcome. A couple of days ago I read some utmost appalling news. Apparently a bunch of crooks got into a house uninvited and stole not only gold and valuables, but also some pasta and tomato sauce. You monsters! Brutes! How dare you lay your grubby hands on the sacred carbohydrates! You deserve a lesson you will never forget! Here's the plan! Let's suppose this is a criminal who wants to perform some pasta thieving shenanigans in my house. Disgusting, I know. First off, he needs to get into my kitchen, and the fastest way to do that is to enter from the door window at night. Of course, the lights won't be turned on, because why would they? So everything will be dark, except for a small torch that lights up a pack of pasta on a pedestal. This will be our bait. Driven by his greed for macaroni, the thief will start walking towards the pasta, but soon he will stumble into a tripwire. Immediately 2 spotlights will turn on and blind him, and a silly music will start playing. Reasonably, he won't be expecting that, so he will be startled and freeze on the spot. And then, half a second later, a huge pot will come swinging from the ceiling and hit him on the back of the head. At this point, he will be quite stunned, but he will still try to recover his balance. However, we have a huge brain with many wrinkles, and we are always one step ahead. Banana peels! That's my secret weapon. A masterfully placed banana peel will make him slip and fall face first into a wooden chopping board. Have you noticed that I'm only using kitchenware for this project? It's like a theme park, but for sadists. Anyway, while falling on the chopping board, a machine will activate and pin him on the ground with a kitchen knife. Finally, a small oven placed just beside his head will slowly cook his eyes. And if that's not enough, or somehow he manages to escape, I will be ready to rush in and finish him with my comically large fork. That's a wonderful, wonderful idea! Can we make this real? I already did! Let me show you around. Let's see everything from the perspective of a burglar. This is the door he will enter from, because I will accidentally forget it unlocked. As you enter, even in broad daylight and with lights turned on, you don't see anything too suspicious. Except for our pasta bait. So inviting. But wait, because here is the tripwire. The mechanism is very simple but works fantastically. The tripwire is tied to a toothpick that blocks a spool of heavy fishing line that goes right to the wall, to the ceiling, and blocks the swinging pot in place. For testing, I will exchange the pot with this very appropriate Angry Birds plushie, because I am not fond of spine surgeries. I should really hire some servants for testing on them. Send your applications. Also, the toothpick keeps the 2 parts of a circuit separated. When the burglar trips into the wire, the toothpick gets pulled away, frees the spool and closes the circuit. Like this. On the other hand, this board just controls a relay that activates the comically oversized light bulbs and the oven that is right behind the door. Also, this small piezoelectric component will be responsible for playing a robotic version of Beethoven's Ode to Joy. It's the dumbest electronics ever, but that's all we need. So, the burglar will trip on the wire, get stunned by the lights and confused by the music, hit by the pot, and he will slip on the banana peel. Then he will fall onto the second tripwire that, when pulled, lowers the arm with the knife. Here is the mechanism on the other side, and here is the oven that is controlled by the relay. Wonderful, everything set? Let's try this! Functionality test number 1. First off, tripwire. Nice. Great, then banana peel, and finally, knife oven. Yes, everything's working. Lovely. Now we just need a trespasser. Hehehehe, I am a vicious pasta-eating thief, and I will now proceed to steal that completely unsuspicious pack of pasta placed in the middle of an otherwise empty room. I have been tricked! I've been backstabbed! I've been, quite possibly, bamboozled. I shouldn't say it, but I am quite surprised by how well everything works. Not that I had any doubt, of course. My inventions are always amazing. You can't fool me twice! Splash! Ah, by the way, I know it sounds crazy, but the thief was actually me all along. I know, shock. I'd like to test this on an unsuspecting target, but I don't have friends. What an exquisite contraption, don't you think? If you wish to put me in charge of your home security, there's my contact information in the description. As payment methods, I accept fried food and the occasional prisoner to use as a test subject for my traps. While you're there, you can also find links to my Twitter and Instagram accounts. Those and the notification bell are the best way to keep up with the new videos, since the YouTube algorithm doesn't seem to like them very much. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with the constant jokes about killing people in horrible ways. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and for leaving a like, and as always, take care!